You're about to listen to a Gaming Stooges podcast with your regularly scheduled Stooges.
I'm Jack.
The internet calls me Cloud.
And I'm Landon.
We hope you enjoyed today's discussion, and if you do, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, following us on Twitch, or joining our Discord. Let's get on with the show.
Hey folks, another
Hi.
Gaming Stooges podcast.
That was what the intro was for, Cloud. Good job.
Yes.
Excellent work.
So we have two topics tonight. It's a double header.
We do.
Because our good friend Bob Nintendo decided to put out a direct right after we talked about the possibility of there not being one.
Now, I wanted to go back on the record. I said that there was going to be a direct in that video.
Yes.
I don't remember
To be
what
fair,
I said.
hindsight is 2020. We didn't
But-
know that they were going to do it.
But I still
But you
said,
did say that they would do one.
I said
But nobody
I
knew.
think-
Nobody knew for sure.
No, I'm just saying, I said, I think next week there's going to be a direct.
And it ended up happening.
And there was a
so.
direct. But you, on the other hand, Cloud, you said
I was pretty
Switch
sure
is dead.
that I did not say no. Now you're just putting words in my mouth. I said that I didn't think that they had enough to show a direct yet. And
Well,
apparently I lied because they had stuff
Nintendo said,
later.
I'm going to make you eat those words.
I'll make you eat those words. So we're putting this into our podcast that is including our Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom review, which we already had planned tonight, but now we've got a second topic to talk about because we got to talk about this pretty quick. So,
Well, it'll probably
all
be
three of
the
us.
chunk of this video, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, it's probably going to be more of this podcast than the Zelda discussion, honestly.
possibly, yeah. All three of us watched the direct, right? Or did?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we watched it outright, yeah. Because we
Well,
were all. I
I'll say
watched it.
this.
I streamed it.
Yeah.
I know.
I watched your stream.
Yeah.
I had the stream playing, so I heard things, but I was also driving.
Correct. Yeah.
So,
I remember.
like-
you had to go to work.
Yeah, where I had to go that day was across town. It was like a 40-minute drive, so it was like, I can't. So I listened to a lot of it. I saw some of it, especially like the opening stuff. I was actually able to see that, and I've gone back and like I've seen trailers for all the stuff that I could like really watch. But yes, I did see it.
All right. So there's 40 minutes of stuff, and us being Nintendo fans, that means that there's a lot of stuff for us to talk about, unlike the other showcases.
There's about
So, let's
16
just-
hours worth of content to talk about right now.
Yeah, honestly.
So let's just jump right in. The first thing that they showed off was some stuff on the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC. They mostly showed stuff off for Teal Mask, but they did include some stuff on Indigo Disc as well. How do we feel about the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC?
It sure is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC.
I'll let you know once I actually play Pokemon Scarlet and or Pokemon Violet.
True, you
fair.
haven't even played the game yet. I'm gonna say this right now, like, I'm like the big Pokemon fan of the group, and I was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I have not touched the Sword and Shield DLC at all. So
I
the
didn't
chances,
either.
Sword and Shield DLC's good.
the chances of me touching this is like
Pretty
even
much
less than-
zero.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
Like the DLC looks fine, but like, I mean, I already know like a lot of this stuff is coming.
I think it's a bigger issue of me going back and touching DLC rather than just what the DLC content is. Because there's
Right,
been
yeah.
plenty of games where I still haven't. Well, now I strategically was playing the long game with like Engage, Fire Emblem Engage, so I could play all of the DLC. But like Fire Emblem Three Houses, I haven't touched that DLC at all. So like it depends on like when I play the game. So who knows?
Yeah, no, DLC, like every game has DLC nowadays, so it's tough to keep up with. The next thing that they showed off was Sonic Superstars, which was really just, we'd already seen Sonic Superstars revealed previously, so they didn't really show too much new. It was basically the same stuff.
Yeah, but I'm still excited
next-
for it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm excited for it. I'm
Yeah.
hyped. I want to get that game like the day it comes out.
It looks sick.
Next thing that came out that they showed off was Palia. I think that's how you pronounce that.
I think so.
How'd you guys feel about that?
Do not care.
Yeah.
Pass.
Pass.
They showed off Persona 5 Tactica, which was also shown off previously at a different showcase, but it was nice to get. We got a little bit more stuff shown off with this one, though.
And this was a confirmation of. I know, like, Atlas a couple days after the Microsoft showcase was like, yeah, it's going to be on other things. But we were also expecting Persona 3 Reload, and they didn't confirm Persona 3 Reload for Switch. But they did confirm Persona 5 Tactica for Switch.
They should confirm Persona 3 Reload for Nintendo Switch.
They should do that, but Atlas is cowards, so...
They are cowards.
Considering it's a remake, I feel like they're probably gonna hold off on a Nintendo Switch port till like later for no valid reason.
Man,
but they made Persona 5 the Royal for the Switch.
Yeah.
Persona 3 Reload looks like it's running off
the same engine, basically.
A similar engine, at the very least.
They should be.
The next thing they showed off was Myth Force. Myth Force, yeah.
Pass.
Splatoon 3 new Splatfest. Got 3 flavors of ice
I'm pretty
cream.
sure. Did that? Oh, no, that hasn't happened already.
It has not happened.
It's not till July 14th.
That is true.
Yeah.
And even when this goes up, it still will not have happened.
True.
No. So, what team are you? Vanilla, strawberry, or mint chip?
Vanilla supremacy.
I'm team Campfire Peanut Butter Cup.
True, but that's not an option.
Yeah, better be.
Should be.
I'm gonna call
a mint chip guy myself.
Bob Nintendo right now. Out
next
of
thing
those,
that they go ahead.
I mean, I like all 3 of those like similarly. You know, the only reason they don't have chocolate is so they can't have a poop color.
I thought, no, they've done brown colored things before. I'm pretty sure they did that because they thought chocolate would win in a landslide.
I agree with Jack. I think it's because chocolate probably would have dominated and they wanted it to be a bit more even.
Well, I think they just didn't want poop and cum in the same.
Chocolate ice cream's overrated.
Next thing they showed off was Detective Pikachu Returns. It exists. Detective Pikachu 2 is real.
I still haven't played the first one, so I honestly don't care.
You probably never will.
It looks cute, but like, eh.
Yeah.
Same with you, Landon. Just eh. All right. Big one next. We got a confirmation for Super Mario RPG Remake.
Yoshi.
I was spoiled. There was a rumor going around like the day before that this would be a thing. But I was like, I don't know, man. So I wasn't that shocked when I saw it, but I was still really excited. Because I've never played Super Mario RPG. I'm the guy that people are making fun of where they're like, big Geno fan is really excited to play Super Mario RPG for the first time.
God.
Am I still the only one who has played Super Mario RPG at this point out of this group?
Have you played it?
I have played it.
I have not played it, so that'd be a yes.
Oh, wow.
Spoilers, we did talk about that during a Patreon exclusive video that's going to be going out. By the time this is out, it's already going to be up. So
upgrade to $6 on Patreon or sign up for $6 on Patreon and you can watch exclusive content.
We will have at least 1 video a month, but we're planning hopefully 2.
Who knows? Who actually knows?
We'll see.
Not even us. Don't ask us.
Not even us. We don't plan that far ahead.
I don't even know what's happening tomorrow.
Jack, how do you feel about the Super Mario RPG remake?
They killed Yoshi. Where is he? It looks cool. I'm excited. I'll probably play it. I never played the original, so
I like how the graphic style is like they're trying to keep it faithful to the original. I did notice that they added like this weird like gauge that's like on the left that's like a percentage that builds up. I don't know what that's for. I don't know if that was actually in the original and it just didn't have a visual indicator and now it does. I don't know.
I loved the meme that was like flirting versus harassment, and the flirting was the Mario RPG remake, and the harassment was the BDSP.
I mean, true.
Because it's like,
Landon, how do you feel about? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think they did a pretty solid job of like replicating the like sprite size of the original game without making it look fucking stupid and awkward.
Mario's
like
big man. Landon, how do you feel about the remake?
I will buy it.
The next thing.
That's
No further elaboration.
Yeah. Next thing they showed off was a brief, very brief teaser for an untitled Peach-centered Switch game coming out.
Hell yeah.
I'm looking forward to this, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But
Same.
I want
It's
it.
weird because it has like it's got like a beat 'em up, like 2D beat 'em up perspective sort of thing. Like it's from the side view, but you can move up and down on the plane the same way that like you could in like Streets of Rage and stuff like that. So
Maybe it's like
Kinda
a Mario 3D Land type, where it's like kind of 3D but kind of 2D.
It also
be.
looks like it's like a play, like everything's set
Yeah.
on like a
Yeah.
play stage, and these are all like set pieces and stuff. So it'll be interesting.
they like to do that a lot. They did that in a few Mario games.
That was in your drawer.
That was in your door.
Super Mario Brothers 3 as well. They like to use that thematic. It's weird. Next thing they showed off was a port of Luigi's Mansion 2 coming. Okay. I
Cool.
don't know.
I mean,
I haven't
it's,
played. I heard the second game wasn't as good as the first one.
It's not. I mean, it's still a pretty good game, but like, and this is cool. But yeah, this is like very much this exists. I mean, I already own the original game, so cool.
Any additional input, Landon?
Well, I'm wondering what they're going to be doing, because sometimes Nintendo will throw something extra into the shit.
They
Sometimes
usually
don't.
do.
But yeah, so I'm.
So
I'm
the question
wondering what
is will they,
actually do
won't
with
they?
it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they showed off a port of the Batman Arkham games packaged together, all three trilogy.
Smash. unless it's a cloud-based game, in which case pass.
From what I understand, it will have a physical release, but one of the games is going to be on the cartridge.
Probably going to be Arkham City, right? The first one.
No,
Arkham Asylum is the first one.
Oh, Arkham Asylum. It goes Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight.
Correct.
Yeah.
In that
so
case,
it's gonna be the first one.
I will buy a used copy.
It's
for $3.
It's gonna. They're doing
Because-
the same thing then that fucking Spyro had
And
on the
Borderlands.
Switch and Borderlands. So
Yeah.
it's.
I mean,
And some of the Assassin's Creed games that they've done. There's been a lot of this shit where they do like one thing is on the cartridge.
I would
it's
almost,
like I get it, but I also don't like it.
I would almost rather do like 3 separate releases for each game, so that I can buy Arkham Asylum and Arkham City and then ignore Arkham Knight.
Well, that's the thing is that would require additional cartridges. The cartridges
That's fine.
are expensive already, and
That's fine.
the reason why they put just like the one game at there is one, they are not good at optimizing game space like Nintendo is. Like Nintendo can like crunch a game down to like no file size. It's weird. They're like wizards. And 2, in order to move up from the 16 gigabyte cartridge, which is like the standard size for a Switch cartridge, to the 32, that's a lot more like cost. So they don't want to do it. I don't like that they do it, but like I know why they do it.
Then charge me $70 for the collection.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, if that's what they're gonna do and raise the game prices to 70, yeah, fuck it. Just go up to 70, give us everything on one cart.
It's Pixel. What a Pixel.
Hey,
If Atlas
got a bunch
thinks
of people here.
they can charge
Excellent.
like $80 for the Etrian Odyssey collection,
Yeah, seriously.
digital only, because it did not come
Which
out
is-
physically here in the West. It did come out.
Which is absurd.
I think fucking
Rocksteady.
Warner Brothers can charge us $70 for the Arkham games, which are a decade old at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, It's cool. I, like, unironically would rather they wouldn't, but I would unironically rather they just swap out Arkham Knight for Arkham Origins, which is a better game than Arkham Knight, in my opinion.
Moving on, though, because we got a lot more to talk about. Gloomhaven was shown off.
Pass. Next.
Yeah.
Pass.
Just Dance 2024.
Next.
It's
Whatever.
Just Dance 2024 Code Inbox Limited Edition.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Oh,
no, they started
sorry.
doing that last year with Just Dance, actually. Last year was the first year where all platforms, it was a code in the box. So they're just keeping that tradition alive with this year, which is fine by me.
Yeah.
Yep. Silent Hope was shown off. That one has a cool art style. I like what I saw of it.
This one is set in the world of Rune Factory.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's Rune Factory adjacent.
I will say I liked the art style in the thumbnail, and then I clicked open the video to remind myself what it looked like in the gameplay, and then I saw the gameplay. I'm like, oh, never mind.
It's one of those games.
Then we
Pass.
got a bit of a revenge of the farming direct with Fae Farm.
Pass.
They showed off a Hot Wheels Unleashed
Ooh.
2 turbocharged. Hot Wheels Unleashed was actually apparently pretty good.
That could be cool, honestly. I never played the first one, but, like, that has potential to be good.
Considering the first one was good, as long as like they don't fuck it up, I mean that means that the second game should hopefully be better.
Yeah.
We got Manic Mechanics, which is like an Overcooked, but like you're a mechanic.
Sure. I probably won't play it, but sure.
Pass.
Next was expansion / DLC, I think, for Sparks of Hope. Mario and Rabbids. I didn't play it.
I
Pass.
don't really care.
And they showed off a trailer for Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince.
Smash.
That one looks
Smash.
pretty cool.
Smash.
Jack, did you have anything to say before Landon jumps in?
Not really, no.
Landon, go ahead.
I want this game now. Is it December
Now?
1st yet?
No. Oh yeah, that's right. It comes out December 1st.
December 1st. What the
That's
fuck?
a weird release date. That's like the Tuesday after Thanksgiving.
They did something similar with fucking Dragon Quest Treasures last year, where they put it out in like early December, and I'm like, why?
That's fucking weird.
Why?
Why would they not put it out like a week and a half earlier?
Or who knows? But
Or something, like, I don't know.
I'm enjoying all of the Dragon Quest that has been like trickling out post 11 with Treasures and Monsters. They had the 2 Heroes games, although those were I think before 11. We have the Dragon Quest Builder, so everything that's been like
This has been a good generation for Dragon Quest.
Yeah, around like this last generation on the PS4 and everything, and then like going into this generation with the Switch and PS5 and stuff. Like there's been some good like spin-off stuff for Dragon Quest, and then we had a really good core title with Dragon Quest 11. So I'm excited to see more information, because I was also expecting 3, because they announced the 3 remaster a long time ago. At this point, it feels like ages.
Oh yeah.
And 12. So, but I'm fine with more of this. Just keep giving me more of this.
I remember, who was it that said, like, I think it was like in the Discord server, somebody like mentioned that maybe the reason why they've been like holding off on the DQ3 stuff is because maybe they're planning on doing 1 and 2 together with it. They just didn't originally intend for it. Maybe they're putting them together. I don't know. But I mean, that might be a possibility. I don't want to get hopes up, but I mean, that could be a possible reason why it's been backed up.
Pixel says Katie mentioned it.
Yeah.
I don't
I
care.
wouldn't-
Just give me 3, and then you can give me 2 and 1 later.
Pikmin 4, we got a nice bit of a deep dive comparatively to everything else. They showed off a lot, so
I mean, it's cool.
I'm not a
but
Pikmin guy.
Pikmin's
but-
about to come out. I mean, they
Yeah.
announced the demo is coming out, and so The demo is out as of now. I haven't played it. But that's not the Pikmin announcement everyone cares about. No one cares about Pikmin 4 right now.
Well, yeah, because we already know about Pikmin 4. We got the release date. They showed off some gameplay. That was cool. But one thing they did announce we didn't know about before was they are re-releasing Pikmin 1 and 2 on the Switch.
Hell yeah. With physical releases.
Yes.
They are... Well, it's one physical release.
Well, yeah, but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But they're together. Yeah.
Yes, but the games are out now. You can get them digitally.
Yeah. You can go on Twitter and see...
it.
You can go on Twitter and see Zoomers play Pikmin for the first time and then wonder why all of their red Pikmin died in the water.
But yeah, no. It's a good deal, though. It's like $50 for 2 games.
Yeah.
They're generally regarded.
I mean, I'm going to fucking buy
games.
it. We're gonna stream Pikmin 1 after Spookfest because that kind of comes out at a bad time, but definitely at some point.
After that, they showed off the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, and
cool.
This was cool because they announced it during like the Summer Game Fest stuff that was going on, like the PlayStation Showcase. Like they like kind of just showed that it existed, but they didn't show much about it. But they like went in and they like showed off a lot of stuff that's being included. Like they showed, the 3 main games. They showed off, Metal Gear, like the original NES titles. They also showed off like the extra little like quality of life extra bonuses that you can get. So it's cool that we're getting it, but
literally the one thing I hope for is that I hope that Psycho Mantis still reads your fucking well, I guess in this case it would be your hard drive, not your memory card, but like and says what games you're playing, but like I fucking doubt it, honestly.
But I was gonna say, how are they gonna do like the thing where like you have to change controller ports?
Maybe you have to open up like the change like pairing menu on the
and like
Switch.
Pair a second controller.
Yeah.
Oh, what? That'd be sick if like that. So like since you can split the Joy-Cons up, maybe you have to you can like just split use like one Joy-Con and put it on to like the second one.
It's a way to do it. I have no idea what they'll do, but that would be cool.
So yeah, the Metal Gear Solid collection, they showed off all of the stuff that we're gonna get with that. I don't remember. I remember like some amount of it's supposed to not be on the card.
Are they doing
that? Would be
physical release?
Oh, are they not?
Oh, are they not doing one at all?
Well, this is Konami. So my guess is if they do one, they're partnering with Limited Run.
Yeah, true.
Because that's how they did the Castlevania and the Contra collections. Like a lot of the Konami stuff has been like Limited Run physical releases.
Yeah, true. Next up, they showed up Vampire Survivors.
Pass.
Yeah. Then there was Headbangers Rhythm Royale, which is a rhythm game with a bunch of pigeons.
It's interesting.
It was more interesting than Just Dance, I'll give it that.
Yeah. It's bizarre. But could be good. I don't know.
It wasn't a battle royale, I would probably care more.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like if you use this IP for like an Elite Beat Agent style rhythm game.
I'm so sick of battle royale games, man.
Yeah,
we need to stop. Next game they showed off was Penny's Big Breakaway.
Oh, smash.
I gotta say, there's too many people sleeping on this game.
Okay, I'm cautiously optimistic because I don't want another Balan Wonderworld, but this is made by the people that made Sonic Mania, and it looks really fun. And T. Lopes is doing the music. That's all I gotta say.
Yep. So
that's all you need to know.
I remember hearing that like plans fell through between Sega and Christian Whitehead about like Sonic Superstars, and this is possibly why, as he's probably just working on another game at the time, and that's this. But no, what they showed off, obviously, like, it's a cute little old school style 3D platformer. It looks really cool. I like the yo-yo mechanics that are like going on with that. It's gonna be a pretty fun time. Like Jack said, T. Lopes is doing the music, so I'm sure it's gonna be pretty good.
I think it looks sick. I'm looking forward to it.
You have anything to add, Landon? No.
Okay.
Nothing to add.
They showed off a little bit of the next wave of DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
They showed off one track, but
They showed off one new track, and then a bunch of new
Wiggler?
characters that are coming back.
we got Wiggler, we got Petey Piranha, we got Kamek. So, fuck yeah.
Was Kamek in a previous game? I forget.
Tour.
Nope.
He was in Tour. Mario Kart.
Just Tour.
Well,
Yeah.
who gives a shit?
So that's
'Cause
where
I know
he's
that-
returning
yeah.
from.
I know that Wiggler and Petey Piranha are returning from, main series titles. So.
Well, Tour's a
Petey
main
was also in
series.
Tour.
True. So, I mean, yeah, I hope they were to. I was hoping they would actually show us like more of the courses, but I'm still. They got to bring back Funky Kong, man.
They really do. I feel like that's gonna be the last pack is gonna be Funky Kong. There's too many people that want him back for them to not bring him back.
My guess is they
True.
bring Diddy over Funky.
I mean, they could do that too.
Yeah.
Next game they showed off was a remake of Star Ocean Second. The second Star Ocean game, Star Ocean: The Second Story R. So this is basically the follow-up to Star Ocean First Departure R. And this is actually being done in like a HD 2D style. Looks pretty
Looks
cool.
neat.
I'm torn.
What's up?
Part of me wants it, and part of me is like, I don't know.
Yeah, like
Any elaboration on that or?
It's just a gut feeling.
Okay.
The only Star Ocean I played is it was the one that came out on PS4, and it was very meh. I haven't played any of the other ones.
Oh, okay.
I've heard that the two that are after this one, which is Lost Hope and To the End of Time, I think those are the subtitles. Those two are fantastic.
oh yeah, I've heard super good things about Till the End of Time.
So I'm a little, I don't know. It looks interesting.
Next game they showed off was WarioWare Move It.
Fuck yeah. This is what I like. The last WarioWare game, I don't even remember what. Get It Together. I didn't give a
Yes.
shit. It like looked boring, honestly.
Oh, Jack,
This-
by the way, I know that you had mentioned it. I guess apparently, according to like the Japanese names, this is a Smooth Moves follow-up.
Well, I mean, you can tell just by looking at it.
I mean, I know, but like when you mentioned it, like you were talking about like it seemingly being one, but it is actually literally a follow-up.
I mean, like gameplay-wise, it looks exactly like Smooth Moves, which is exactly what I want because Smooth Moves is the best WarioWare game, and I think this could be sick. I see no reason why it couldn't be. The only thing I can't imagine they would really fuck up the controls too badly. I mean, Nintendo has been doing motion controls for like 17 years or something like that. We're
going
down.
on 17.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'm looking forward to it.
We'll
I'm
see
going to
how
buy
bad
it for
they
sure.
fuck it up.
It'll be interesting to stream. I'm going to try, but we'll see.
Landon, did you have anything to add about WarioWare?
No, I'm excited for Jack.
Okay. Then they showed off the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom amiibo.
No. They talked about Nintendo Live 2023 next.
Oh, yeah.
The live play shit that's going to happen in Seattle, where one of our Discord members is going.
True?
It's true.
All right, now you can talk about the amiibo.
Sorry, I was scrolling through and they didn't put a devoted section, and so I forgot about it because I didn't care when they announced it in the direct. But yes, they did the Tears of the Kingdom amiibo. We got a Zelda one. We got a Ganondorf.
They look good. I'm not going to buy them because I've given up on Amiibo at this point. I gave up on Amiibo years ago.
I'm gonna buy them, and I'm gonna make.
They do look good.
I'm gonna make the Ganondorf one kiss the Wolf Link Amiibo one because
hell yeah,
they're
because
lovers.
hell yeah.
You
You have to take a picture when you do this.
We're just gonna do it on one of these.
Oh, okay.
You're just going to smash them together like Barbie and Ken dolls, just like...
Amazing. And then the final announcement of the Direct was a new 2D Mario game called Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Oh boy.
Hell yeah. It looks cool.
Oh yeah.
We haven't seen a lot of it, but like what they've shown off...
I mean, they showed off a decent... For a reveal trailer, they showed off a decent amount.
They
showed
got
off
some...
The only thing that matters.
Daisy.
The gameplay.
Daisy is playable.
Playable Daisy.
Why are they
Hell
only
yeah.
charging $60 for this game? This is a $100 game.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on with Super Mario Bros. Wonder. So first of all, this is the first, like, regular 2D Mario game that isn't like a build-your-own sort of thing, or a port or anything like that since...
Mario U. Or technically New Luigi U.
Yeah, technically New Super Luigi U.
Yeah.
That was 10 years ago.
About a decade.
And...
The Year of Luigi.
Yeah.
refreshingly, the art style, they did not simply just copy paste over the new Super Mario Bros. Style because they knew we were sick of that shit, and their developers probably were sick of it too. Everything looks so much more expressive based on what we were seeing. You got Mario going in the pipe and leaving his hat out and like going back in to grab it. You got
an elephant,
an elephant,
which will result in some unfortunate fan art for
Yes.
Peach and Daisy, and I'm sure
you got
it
the
already
Wonder
has.
Flower, which is like doing all sorts of screwy stuff. We got Long Mario, Silhouette Mario at one point. That was pretty fun. Just a lot of fun stuff that they were showing off. Like Landon mentioned, at one point they showed off Daisy, and she was pushing a pipe. So, I guess there was speculation that there's possibly going to be more characters than just these, and they showed Daisy off as like a way to tease that it won't just be the typical like 4 characters. Because they had to add the additional characters when we got like Toadette and Nabbit originally, because they weren't.
Toadette. Oh well, yeah. I was thinking Peach. But yeah, they added Toadette. They had Nabbit.
So this is the first time we're just getting the game outright with at least 5 characters. Like, it seems to start. I don't think they would not show off Daisy if she's not selectable from the beginning. Because, I mean, we did get Rosalina as an unlockable in 3D World, but...
I will destroy Nintendo if I cannot just play the whole game from day one.
As
no
Daisy.
patches, as Daisy. I will also
There you have
destroy
it.
Nintendo if they don't let us play local and online for co-op.
Please,
Mark my
Nintendo.
words, Nintendo.
Please.
I'm not hopeful about online co-op.
I am a content creator that has at least 3 people who listens to my content, not including me. So these 2 plus at least 1 more.
I will say, Cloud, Mario Maker 2 had online multiplayer.
True.
And
Mario Maker 2 is a way more fucky game
3D
because
World,
anything goes in that game.
3D World also came with online.
True.
But
That's true.
against that, literally everything else does not come with online.
Yeah.
Your Kirby's, your Donkey Kong Country. So who knows? Nintendo, balls in your court.
Hopefully they take more after what they've done with recent Mario games to put the online multiplayer in there, but we don't know till they come out with it. But it looks great. It's a fresh take on 2D Mario. I'm looking forward to it. You guys
Look
are looking
forward
to it.
Look forward to the split screen stream where one of us plays Sonic Superstars and the other one plays Mario Wonder.
And the third one of us, aka me, just sits there and plays Dokkan Battle.
The way
No,
God
Landon,
intended.
you know what you can do, right? Is Jack's gonna play Super Mario Brothers Wonder with whichever character he wants to play as. I'm gonna play Sonic Superstars, but you're gonna play Super Mario Brothers Wonder as Daisy, and that feed is gonna take up most of the screen.
Oh, so it's going to be tri-feed?
Tri-feed,
but your screen is going to be like
you get to be the
two-thirds.
Yes.
We get like just bottom corner. One
Yeah.
of you is like the bottom,
Just like
the whole bottom,
tiny,
the whole bottom, and it's just like a scroll
stretched
feed.
super wide.
Yeah. And the other one's on the top.
God, that would look so bad. That's like those like
that'd
really
be
poorly sized YouTube videos from like 2009.
Yeah, that's us.
Hell yeah.
God. So overall, how did you guys feel about the Nintendo Direct?
I think it was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
I went in with very little. I mean, I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't want to say I had zero expectations, but it was good. Thumbs up. Not the best direct, but they had some stuff that I am excited for and will play. So
A little something
Yeah.
for everyone.
it has
I'll
a little
say-
something for everyone.
I'll say my expectations were pretty low going in because I was like, I don't know if they have much to show off. And they did end up showing off a lot of stuff we already knew about, but there was some nice surprises in there too. I don't think like anything mind-blowing got shown off, but I think that there's at least enough for us to look forward to.
Are you
So,
saying
overall-
Daisy is not mind-blowing?
Daisy and yeah, I mean it's from a non-biased perspective. I mean it's cool, but it's not mind-blowing.
All right, now from a biased perspective.
Oh, it's absolutely
mind-blowing.
mind-blowing. It's like the coolest thing they've ever shown off in our lives.
Hell yeah.
All right, now a biased perspective, but you're not a Daisy fan.
Oh, this is the dumbest thing they've
Daisy-
ever shown me. I don't even know why they bothered showing this direct. It's trash. It's garbage. I hate it. Get it out of here. But no, pretty good direct overall.
Perfect.
So, that being said, that's the direct. But a couple months ago, if you're not aware, there was a little game that came out called The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Have you heard of
I've
it?
never heard.
No,
I've
I
never
haven't.
heard of it.
All three of us have played it to some extent, and as we typically do when we all have played a game that recently came out, we did want to give a bit of a review for it. But just as a disclaimer, Landon, you are the person who's made the most progress in this game. How much progress do you have on this game so far?
I have cleared over 80 shrines.
Okay,
Jesus.
that's about half of them.
I think I've activated about 60 light roots.
Okay,
It's quite a few.
That's about 60% of
I don't know how many of those there are, so
I think
but-
I
take your word for it.
think there's 100. I have done one of the temples, and I've gotten like the one of the 4 cool powers from one of the guardians. I've gotten every single tier at the thing, whatever. I know where the Master Sword is. I have chosen not to grab it yet. I'm about 65% of the way done with the Hyrule Compendium. I'd have to math it just to double check. And I don't know how many of the signs I have helped put up, but I put up a lot of the signs.
Okay.
Cool.
I've played.
Oh, and I'm over 100 Korok seeds in.
I've
Jesus,
played
that's a lot-
significantly
that's a lot of poop.
less. I have not been keeping track of Korok seeds. I have some. I don't know how
Well,
much.
the game does that for you.
I know, but I'm saying despite them showing me numbers when I go to certain loading screens, I don't bother looking at that. So I know I don't
only
have a
stare
lot.
at that. That's the only part of the game I pay attention to.
The only number I've looked at is the amount of shrines I have, and I don't have a lot. I have like 30. I started quite a few of like the bigger quests for the game, but I haven't made a whole lot of headway. I got, so I don't want to like jump right into like something that could be considered a bit of a spoiler yet, although we will be doing that across this discussion, I'm sure. But I got far enough into the 4 phenomena regions. Yeah, I got far enough into one of them to get to like a big like dungeon-y area of one of them.
So one of the temples.
Yes, I didn't want to say it, but yes, they have the temples.
So
yeah, so I have I just finished playing a little bit before we started, and I ended up like right in front of the Wind Temple with Tulin. So
yeah,
I was doing that.
I can tell you everything about that because that's the one.
I'm pretty close also, like with the Goron section of getting to the whatever the temple or dungeon is down there, but I had to back out because like I was getting my ass kicked because of the gloom damage that's down there. Oh my god, I got to go back in there with a game plan. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, what you need to do is cook.
I do.
They have food for that.
I don't have any. I didn't make anything when I went down there to help protect from that.
Well, it's more like when you recover, you can recover gloom damage.
Oh, you can. I didn't know that. You can just recover gloom damage by eating regularly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sun dandelions, I think is what they're called. If you have those, if you cook with those, there's some other ones that'll do it too.
Okay, so there are specific things you have to use, but you'll be able to recover gloom damage. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like if you go to, you can get them when you're like visiting Skylands, if you wish. Skylands. If you're like popping around the Skylands, you can find them usually, and then if you cook with those, they'll remove gloom, so you don't have to like go up to the surface or go to a light route. You can like eat one of those, and it'll recover some of your gloom damage.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't know that I had a method to do that. I thought there was like some other shit that I needed to obtain. Okay. I'll probably go back and tackle that at some point in the near future then. Jack, how much have you played so far?
Not as much as you guys. I've been busy lately.
How dare you?
Haven't had a whole lot of time. But I have put about 20 hours into the game or so, not a terrible amount, but I will say I've made 0 story progress. I met with Pura, I took the mission to light up the fucking towers, and I just went off and I just started exploring aimlessly. I'm very much like going at this pretty slowly.
Did you at least get the paraglider?
Yeah,
okay.
I did.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I have like the main basic tools to explore, you know. I'm just kind of fucking around and just finding shrines when I find them.
I mean, well, it's something that I wanted to dive into, so if I could just bring it up. Even more so than Breath of the Wild, I feel like Tears of the Kingdom does a really good job of just being a very sandboxy game. Like, there's a lot of story content to do. Like, Landon and I were alluding to stuff with the story that we're working on. But, like, there's a lot that you can just kind of MacGyver and just kind of fiddle around with, especially with the new mechanics where you can just kind of build whatever you want as long as you have the tools for it. The game really wants you to just kind of experiment.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with not having a lot of story progress because the game's got plenty of stuff to do that isn't story, that's for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, I think I'm just having fun messing with like the new mechanics and shit.
Yeah.
Like the Ultra Hand and just like building whatever.
Really cool. Fusing's really fun to figure out like what can fuse with what to do what.
Just like messing with shit and like seeing what I can accomplish just by like thinking about it instead of, using a guide for the whole game, which I'm trying to avoid doing.
I'm using a guide for the shrines if I can't figure out the puzzle within them, and I might use a guide if I get lost when I'm in the middle of a quest. But other than that, I've just been kind of going wherever, and I've been figuring everything else out as I go. I've probably been using a guide relatively about the same amount that I did with Breath of the Wild, maybe even a little less. Lena, did you have anything you wanted to talk about? But while I'm blanking here, because I think Jack mentioned Ultra Hand, the fusing ability. We also have you also have the recall and ascend, right?
Yeah.
Yes. They do. They give these to you extremely early, just like they did with the runes from Breath of the Wild, where like they gave them to you pretty early, and you can just start kind of using them right away. I will say, at first, it's kind of overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie, like because you can just do so much with those new gadgets.
Yeah.
But once you start figuring out how to make use of them, like they are a lot of fun. I think they definitely are like better than the tools you get in Breath of the Wild that are like the equivalent.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like, I think the game does a good job of like introducing the mechanics and showing you how they work, and also like, because like the tutorial island is like a really good like way to ease you into the game before it just kind of like sends you on your before it just like sends you on your way and it's just like have fun. But no, I think the new mechanics are really sick. They're like they change so much like about the way the game is played without having to change the core game too much from Breath of the Wild, because it's still like big open world, shrines, 4 main dungeons. There's a story if you want to focus on it, but you don't have to. That sort of thing. It just feels like Breath of the Wild, but it's more creative.
Yeah.
In the way that you progress through the game. And a lot of the time it feels like the game encourages you to just like it'll just like hand you, there will be like stations with like planks of wood and wheels and shit, and it's like, here, build a car, do whatever the fuck you want. And I think that's cool. I think it's cool that the game like gives you the tools and means to go through the game however you please. You can build cool and crazy gadgets that take you to different places or lift Koroks. You can build a tall, flat man that shoots fire out of his penis.
Yeah.
Or you can be Darkside Phil and just claim that the game doesn't tell you how to do anything.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Don't even worry about it.
No.
But yeah, one of you guys can go now.
Yeah,
I don't want to hog too much.
I do have to say I'm torn on this game so far. It's because the thing is that when you start playing Tears of the Kingdom, you kind of have to come to terms with the fact that, especially if you're playing after you played Breath of the Wild, you will not get that initial sense of awe and wonder that you got when you first played Breath of the Wild and you walked outside for the first time and saw that big open world, because that was the first time you experienced that. So you can't get that again. That's just how it is. But that said, from a technical standpoint and from a content perspective, it is still a better game in my opinion.
I mean, just to make a direct comparison to a different Nintendo franchise, Tears of the Kingdom is the Mario Galaxy 2, where, yeah, it's not going to have the same wow factor of the first game.
Wow factor, that's what I was thinking.
In a lot of ways, because, you know, it's like the first time it's like, wow, big Zelda, open world, exploring, and the second time it's like, you know, there's more shit to do, and there's like, it's a cool and unique experience, but at the same time, like, exploring the world is like, you know, it's assuming you've played the first game, which I'm assuming most people have that are playing Tears of the Kingdom. It's, you know, familiar is the word I was looking for. And it's the same thing with Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2, where like the first game is like, you know, it's the game that started it. It's more, I guess, unique in terms of being the one to come out first, and it has that wow factor. But the second game improves on the first one in terms of level design, in terms of adding new mechanics, in terms of more content than the first game. But like both are still fantastic games.
Lennon, did you have anything to say on that front?
Well, I was just gonna say that I still feel like I have gotten that wow factor, even when I've like first started playing the game, because you like, I know you go through kind of the same rigmarole where you like walk out of like the room of rights or whatever, and you know you climb out there, but it like getting the sense of how much more there is to the game when you like walk out onto the Sky Islands for the first time, and you kind of see all of that, and just how much more like even that has added. And the marketing didn't really even talk about going under Hyrule.
No.
So like when I first went down into like when I saw a giant pit that just goes fucking down, I was like, what the fuck is that? Why is that there? And then the game's like, yeah, just go down there. Just do it. And like how much more that added to it, I was pleasantly surprised.
If I can build on that, so obviously Breath of the Wild, you had just the one large world, Hyrule, and there's a lot to discover in that world, but it was just that one world, and you had different verticalities and stuff. But Tears of the Kingdom does have technically 3 world maps, because you have Hyrule, you've got the Sky Islands, which are all above Hyrule, basically all over the map, and then the depths, which Landon was talking about, which is under Hyrule. But that is not to say that Hyrule itself is entirely the same, because the terrain has changed up a bit here and there. Like they have, based on, I'm assuming because of, you know, the story beats, there is some changes to the climate, and there's some changes to the terrain. So it's not 100% the same when you, even with just Hyrule itself. Hyrule has also been shaken up. So if you think that like once you get down to Hyrule, because that moment when you finish up on the Sky Islands tutorial and they allow you to dive off and get into Hyrule proper, like it's an amazing feeling, I will say. But like you definitely have to take it in, because like Hyrule is not the same as in Breath of the Wild. It is different.
And that's,
you'll see some familiar stuff, but
that's one of the things I love is they added caves.
Oh yeah, caves are a huge addition. It's the smallest thing.
It's super small. Like when you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, Breath of the Wild, you didn't really have cave areas. And like just like thinking about that, and like how much more like exploring caves and wells like really adds to the experience of like, oh, there's like something cool I'll probably see here, so I know there's a shrine up there, let me pin that real quick, and then let me go take a little side detour, because I think I still really like it. One of the first times we were all playing Tears of the Kingdom, like we were all playing at the same time, and Cloud was like, I really need to find shrines, I want to find shrines. And so I was like telling him about some shrines I found, and we found a cave nearby one of them, and so we both started exploring it at the same time.
That was super fun.
And like it was just that experience of like early game, just like getting really wowed by a cave and like what was all in it. And eventually, by the end of that cave, we found rubber armor to make like you resistant to electricity, which was like super cool just to stumble upon.
So they did a really good job of just changing Hyrule up to have more to explore, and also give that exploration some sense of tangible rewards for doing that, which is really cool. Like
Anyone
Breath of the Wild.
I was gonna say, anyone who just says it's a copy-paste map,
They haven't played it.
is very silly.
I never said that, by the way.
Well, I didn't say that
No,
you said that.
we're not saying you
I
said
know.
that, but we are saying that there's people that are online that are just saying, oh, it's just Breath of the Wild 2, it's just Hyrule again, they just did the same thing as before.
I just wanted to say that is. I know that you guys understood that I wasn't saying that,
Yeah.
but for anyone who's worried,
None of
I
us
am
are
not at
saying
all
none of
claiming
us
that.
are saying this, but there are people online that are just saying that it's a copy paste of Breath of the Wild, and that is not true.
those people are dumb.
I mean, those same people are also complaining that they're reusing animations for Spider-Man 2, and it's like, dude, it's the sequel. They're going to reuse assets. Like, that's not a bad thing. But they're going to change things up too. Like you build on the game. That's how you make the game better when you make the new one. Like Breath of the Wild 1. Breath of the Wild did. Breath of the Wild did a good job of introducing a world, an atmosphere, the physics engine, and just the overall vibe of what you're going to get. But what Tears of the Kingdom does is it's like, okay, so we have all this stuff established now. We don't need to devote the time to making sure that that stuff works because we know it works. Now let's change things and add things to this and just flesh it out, stretch it as much as we can. And that's kind of the modus operandi that they've gone with, and it's amazing the amount of, you really do have to like kind of just play it to get a feel, because there's so much. There's a lot.
Cloud, have you unlocked the purple hands yet?
No, I know that. So there's like is it the only like additional thing, or is there like another one on top of it?
No, that's the wheel's set up to where that's the last thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why they added the fucking map as one of the goddamn choices for the.
It literally, it's just to fill out the wheel. I cannot think of a different reason than to have the map on the wheel.
Yeah,
so
but
Jack,
auto build is what it's called.
Jack, I wanna. Oh, auto build. So Jack, I want to ask you, because at this point, as long as we don't give up story spoilers, I think game mechanics are fair game.
I can talk about story spoilers if we want.
I was gonna say, I would love if Landon could share some gameplay related stuff that he's discovered that we may not have discovered yet, because there's a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Before we get into that, one thing that they really did, so like they used a lot of they made a lot of emphasis on the first with Breath of the Wild, where there was like guardians and you could get materials from them. Well, they don't quite have that. But they've kind of like, I don't know if they've really, because I don't remember if it was mentioned in the point of the game that I'm at yet, but they've kind of done some, it's not like Guardians, but they look kind of similar, these like little construct guys, but they're not Guardians, they're different. But they have this technology called Zone Eyes, so they have all these weird little gadgets that you can get, and they all have like a battery that powers them. I know that you can upgrade this battery. I haven't gone into being able to do that yet myself, so I definitely have to look into it. But that alone has like increased the scope of like just all the things that you can do, because you can, like Jack was saying, you can build things, and in addition to what he was mentioning, like you'll get gadgets like fans and rockets and like these little dragon heads that emit fire, and just a bunch of other little things that you can combine together and attach to stuff. And not only do the shrines get you acquainted with them, but you'll also be able to use them just on the overworld to do things just like in your general exploration, or they might have you make use of these tools to unlock a sky tower, because they replace the towers in this game with sky towers, and there's usually a puzzle involved to get it to open so that you can get in there. The sky towers are there so you can actually like catapult upward, and you'll be able to possibly land on sky islands if you so choose. You don't have to, but it's how you'll be able to get up there into new areas if you haven't yet. So they've added a lot. I think one of my personal favorites was So I've been fiddling with the fuse mechanic a lot. I like trying to figure out what I can fuse together and what it'll do. And one of my favorite moments was literally today. Like, I used the rocket tool a bunch before, but I didn't bother to fuse it with anything. So I fused it with my shield earlier today, and I just went boom upward. That was fun.
My favorite is I took one of those and attached it to some spear, and I just use it as a propelled, like, just throwing device. Mostly to just break rocks. I just, like, stand there, throw it, walk up, grab it, walk back, throw it. But I'll use it against enemies. But yeah, just like a rocket propelled, like, throwing device.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't have known that's even possible. There's so many different just things that you can do. Another one of my favorites is putting, like, the flame emitter on a shield, so that, like, if I need to burn a bunch of stuff, instead of getting, like, a torch or using a fire arrow or something, like, just pull out my shield, just burn everything down so I can get through.
The only bad thing is when you attach those, like, the Zonite devices
to
things, is the durability is ass garbage.
The durability is bad, and depending on what you fuse to it, it can sometimes just break the piece, or it can break the whole shield. Like with the flame emitter ones, it will break the entire shield.
Yeah.
So,
but
you have to figure it out.
I understand the durability thing. It's to keep you creative, because if you just got a bunch of, like, one really strong item, you're not going to really, like, play around. But I find myself being creative as trying to keep multiple different things, and some of it being, like, a, like, magic rod with... Because here's something, I don't know if you know. If you take, like, topaz, ruby, or sapphire, and you add it to...
About that
okay,
part,
yeah.
But yeah,
this is something that Jack might not know. If you take one of those, like, precious gems and you add it to a staff or something, you can use it as, like, a magic rod that emits fire, electricity, ice. And then you can just have, like, a rod that does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
Okay, yeah.
It doesn't even necessarily have to be a staff. Like, you can actually just combine it to, like, a sword,
or
stick.
Whatever. Yeah.
Just whatever you want.
But
that's another thing too. Like, the combat is so much more, like, fleshed out because of the way that you can fuse anything to anything and create whatever the fuck you want. I think it's sick.
I will say, I think if there were people that felt like the combat and, like, the equipment and the inventory that you could have was lacking a bit in Breath of the Wild, I would say give Tears of the Kingdom a shot, because once you get into the fusing mechanic, it really opens up. You do have so many options. I've been fusing almost any, like, single-handed weapon I can find, or dual-handed weapon I can find, with, like, some kind of piece from, like, constructs or bokoblins or moblins or whatever, based on whatever I have. And some of the results are pretty strong. Like, I have this, like, I think it's like a black bokoblin reaper or something. And it was just like, I had, like, a decent sword, and I had like a bokoblin boss horn or whatever, and I fused it together, and I have this, like, thing that has, like, 20-something attack, and it's, like, super durable. I've had this thing for, like, half the game already, and it still hasn't broken on me. So, like, you get rewarded pretty well for fusing stuff together, which should go into another point that is worth mentioning. This is a minor story spoiler. This is very early in, but there is a story justification for why the game really wants you to fuse a lot and make use of all of these gadgets and stuff like that. And that's because there is a thing called the Gloom. And the Gloom is basically just infesting the entire world of Hyrule. And that's also why you can access the underneath Hyrule and go into, like, the depths and stuff like that. And that Gloom has also tainted a lot of the weapons that you can just normally pick up. So a lot of them are weak on their own. So in order to make them decent, instead of just finding a decent weapon like you could all the time in Breath of the Wild, you will fuse that weapon with some sort of materials, and then you can make an actually good weapon. And that's just one aspect. Like, that's just scratching the surface, but they tie in the gameplay and the story together in different ways, starting with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to give out too much more. I haven't played enough to really see too much more. I mean, but there's kind of a lot.
Well, here's one thing that's different between the two games. The dragons that fly around up top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can actually land on them.
Yeah, because you couldn't do that
like,
before.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I could have assumed, honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't know for sure, but I had a feeling that you could.
You do need armor or like food that makes you resistant to whatever, because they're because whatever their main elements. Well, I should say this: there are 4 now, but the 3 that are returning from the last game, the ones that represent like the 3 main goddesses. Fire, ice, and electricity. Those 3 have like the elements associated with them, like as a hazard around them. So you need to have something to protect you from that. So know that. But they also have like materials for grinding, for like certain armor upgrades. Especially if you want the Fierce Deity set to be upgraded. When you get that. That's all required, like is getting their parts for each individual part. And that's another thing, is you can get a lot of the extra armors that were relegated just to Amiibo in Breath of the Wild by exploring. Like, I found a couple of them in the depths or doing side quests. I've just found, even though I've gotten most of it from just doing Amiibos, like I found 2/3 of the wind set, and I found one of the champion helmets. It's like a helmet based off of the Guardian from the last the 4 major guys from the last game. What are they called?
Oh, okay.
Whatever they were called. The champion like.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So the helmet based off of that Divine Beast, I think that's what they were.
That
right?
yes, yeah, okay, yeah.
The Divine Beast of that region. There's 4 of those, and after I finished the one of the temples, I was able to get a side quest that led me to one of those helmets. Even though you can get all of that from Amiibo, so if you have Amiibo, you can just scan the shit, and if you scan the champions, you can get that. But you can get a lot of it without needing to do that, which is super nice, is having access to all the different armor sets.
That is cool.
Yeah. And they have a lot of new cool armor to include with the, like, new mechanics. Like, there is a glide suit that you can get.
I did not
I have
know
one
that.
of the pieces for, and it helps you with when you're like doing free fall gliding, with controlling that, which is super nice.
Oh, so like I'm assuming it gives you like a little bit more control with like being able to glide a little further without having to like open up the paraglider.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then there's I started to find some of it. There's what is it? Yinga clan? Whatever the
the
enemy
Yiga
is.
clan.
Yeah. I found armor for them. So you can dress up as them. And
Yeah, you could do that in Breath of the Wild, but I haven't been able to get the stuff in this game yet.
Okay. I forgot. It's been a long time since Breath of the Wild.
Oh, yeah, no. To be fair, Breath of the Wild had a lot of shit, too, in it.
Yeah. So it was like, there's been a lot of cool armor that you can get. Most of the time, my favorite is the Link's Awakening head, or the cap of Awakening, is because it makes Link look like a dumb mascot, and so my headcanon is just some guy is running around. He happened to be like, he's like the mascot. He
just got dropped into Hyrule.
Yeah, well, he's the
He's
mascot
like
for
Sonic
Hyrule
Man.
Town, and everyone thinks he's Link.
That's amazing.
Like, Link died in
Sonic.
the depths.
This is KJHG53, the landlord.
Perfect.
So if we ever stream it, I will have to. We'll do Tutorial Island, and then there'll be a long break, until I get that helmet to drop.
Link dies on the drop down from Tutorial Island.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
You just completely splats.
Splat. All right, well, we got this guy.
And then this guy saves Hyrule
God.
for us.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. How much more do we want to talk about this? Because I don't know what you guys are
I've
feeling.
pretty much said all I can.
So,
Because I have some stuff that I
just-
could wrap up.
oh yeah, just one thing I wanted to mention. So like, it wasn't exactly the same, but it was extremely similar. So I actually woke up from a bad dream this morning, and that bad dream that I woke up from, the thing that like startled me awake was actually like kind of like, so like on the overworld there's like the main Hyrule map, you can near a bunch of areas you'll find like spots that are tainted by the gloom, and the gloom are like just these splotches, like ponds of red and black goop, and they can move around. They have weird like just a lot of different forms that they can take. They have like a bunch of hands, and they'll just like move their way towards you. I actually woke up from a bad dream this morning where it wasn't like all like red and like reddish black. It was more just like closer to like a black shadow, but it was like kind of like a gloom chasing me, and it like grabbed my leg, and I was like, ah! Like I woke up at like 9 in the morning, and like my girlfriend is like looking over at me, and she like starts like rubbing my back because she was like scared for me, because like I've never really woken up like from a bad dream. Like I don't think I've had a bad dream since like I was a kid. And my most recent bad dream was partially something that was from Tears of the Kingdom.
How dare Nintendo do this to you?
How dare they do this to me?
We should get compensation. Jack, we should get compensation for a class
Yeah, you and I
experience.
should get compensation.
Not even me, just you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
exactly.
Cloud, this is money that we need to buy your pants.
Yeah,
to give to our patrons.
yeah, we need this money. Folks, we're going to be starting 2 more tiers soon. We just added the $6 tier for paid content. So you don't have to get a shout out, but you can get paid content. And we're going to start a $20 tier where we'll send you a piece of fabric that is from Cloud's pants, and you can do whatever you want with it, preferably piss on it. And then we're going to start a higher dollar tier. We'll come out with that details later, but we will send you the whole pants. You can do whatever you want for it for, let's say, 7 days, and then you just return it back. And then next month, you get another pair of pants.
All right.
So yeah.
Sounds like a good deal.
Oh, Jack, I have something I
Yeah.
need to ask you.
Oh, while you do
Sure.
that, I have to go get something.
Okay.
Is it today's sponsor?
No. Oh well. Oh, you're asking Landon if he's getting today's spot. Probably. No, but can we agree that Pura became quite the mommy between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom?
I'm gonna stay quiet on that one.
I see.
I'm not disagreeing,
You're not disagreeing.
but I'm not saying anything.
Not saying anything. No, but like there's some returning characters that have had a bit of a glow up. There's a bunch of new characters to kind of like, give you a sense that, there's stuff that's been changed around. Like I got acquainted with God, I already don't remember his name, but he gets introduced and he like is dressed up like a wrestler in like the Goron area. That was like he's pretty fun. And Tulin, the Rito. So like one thing that they added was when you start doing like the phenomena, you actually get to pair up with someone from that area. I don't know what they do for the 2 areas I haven't gone to yet, but they give you a mechanical benefit, and you're supposed to use their assistance to get further in so you can access the main dungeon for that section, for that mission. And Tulin's pretty cool because you get like a forward draft. Tulin gives me like big Tails energy, like Sonic Miles Tails per hour energy. Just very similar attitude. Very cool character though. He like sets out like a forward draft. You can use that to glide across. God, I don't remember the Goron's name. The Goron, he gets introduced and there's like a bunch of like stuff happening with the Goron city, and they're doing something like mining. And he Yunobo, yes. Yunobo,
yeah.
He ends up wearing a mask that's like basically like fucking up his judgment, and then you basically, help him out, and he has this cool thing where like he just turns into a giant bowling ball, and you just have like giant wrecking ball, and you can just like shoot him at big like piles of rocks and stuff, and it'll just break through stuff. It's pretty cool. So
this is this game's version of the Sages. So the Sages that were like Ocarina of Time, that's like
right.
They're doing that basically.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Jack and I tried to figure out stuff to say while you were getting today's sponsor.
Oh, well, I have this frozen custard that is almost empty, so I decided that's what I'm going to show off. I'm sure I've talked about the salted caramel frozen custard from Tillamook before. It's a classic, but it's always good.
So I don't think we have too much else to say, so I think we'll just go around the room and wrap up. And then since we didn't do it at the start because I wanted to get us to jump right in so we could see how much time we had, I think we'll end off with our usual catching up and see how everybody's been doing, what we've been up to. But Jack, starting off though, how do you feel about your experience with Tears of the Kingdom so far?
This might come across as a hot take, but Tears of the Kingdom is a good game.
Whoa,
and I like it.
That's so hot.
Very hot.
That's like hotter than my custard that I'm eating. That was made by Tillamook Creamery.
Pixel says, "Wow, you're gonna get canceled."
We are going to get canceled for that.
But no real complaints so far, honestly. I'd say it's nothing but from what little I've played so far, it's basically been nothing but an upgrade from Breath of the Wild, and I think it's good.
Yeah, I agree pretty much for the most part. I have found Hyrule a little more tricky to navigate because of the changes. And like I said, initial wow factor might not be 100% there like it was for Breath of the Wild, but that's not this game's fault. It's literally just because it's coming out 6 years later and it's building on that. But other than that, once you put that aside, everything else is just better. Like, people had complaints about like the weapon system and like the combat. Well, now you have 1,000 million more options on how to tackle combat and how to obtain weapons, and you can make your own weapons. The gadgets that you use are way more open-ended and do a lot more for the gameplay than Breath of the Wild's equivalents, if I could argue. You have a lot more content, just a lot more world to explore, because you have 3 different worlds to explore. You have the upper, lower, and main Hyrule. And because of the backstory of what's going on with the gloom overcoming Hyrule, and there just being a lot more, there's a sense of things being a little more dire and being a little more urgent. So the story, actually, from what I've experienced so far, it's a little more, it's a little more involved, because like the characters are, there's a lot more going on, and you get to actually interact with these characters a lot more. You get to help them out a lot. They help you out quite a bit. And it feels like there's much more to the plot than just Ganon's taking over Hyrule, go stop him. Like, there's a lot more to it than that. I haven't played enough to really say more on it, but I've definitely been getting the feeling that there's just so much more going on with the story and the characters in this game, which is great. So in general, it really is just an all-around upgrade from Breath of the Wild. If you liked Breath of the Wild, you're probably going to love this game. If you... and the shrines, a lot of the puzzles are a lot more fun. They don't do, a lot... The gimmicks aren't as weird because, again, because you're using the gadgets that flesh out the gameplay more, it just feels a lot more intuitive and a lot more interesting when you go into a new shrine and like what the game wants you to do. So it's just all around, it's a better game overall. Yeah, if you didn't care for Breath of the Wild, this might still be worth a look because it improves on the stuff that a lot of people complained about. But if you already liked Breath of the Wild, then you're probably gonna love this because it's just better. But that's Jack and myself's take. How do you feel about Landon?
I hate it. Worst game I've ever played.
Lennon, where do your ratings?
Landon, that's not true. How can you say that this game is worse than Pokemon X and Y?
I'm sorry, I was talking about Dragon Ball Z's Super Sonic Warrior.
Hey, Super Sonic Warriors is not bad.
So that's my bad. What I meant to say is, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is definitely a video game.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. No, I really enjoy it. Wow, who would have thought? I mean, I don't think
it's almost like you have close to 100 hours in the game already.
What? Do I? Weird.
I don't know how many I have.
According
right
to your
now.
Nintendo Switch Online, are you?
Like,
you are.
I think I'm at like 25 or 30 or something like that.
So yeah, like I enjoy it. I think that it is pretty fun. Like I absolutely adore like just I'll just turn it on and like I have some pins set for like shrines I've seen and stuff or light roots if I'm in the depths or something, and I just kind of go, I'll explore around there today, or like or like I'll have a side quest like because I've had a few queued up because there's some of the side quests like they might be side quest but like there's like some shit like involved. Like there is a new newspaper that has been added to the universe, and you can actually like work on stories.
Yeah, like the side quests do a lot more than just like very basic like one-shot things like in the first game.
And I mean, there is some of those basic one-shot shits, which is fine. You need a little bit of that, but there's like some that are pretty meaty. Like that, where it's like a side quest that splits off into like 12 different side quests, like because there's one at pretty much every stable where like there's issues going on. So for the longest time, I was just like, I'm gonna go to every stable. Like I'm just gonna go find all the stables because one, there's a shrine at every stable.
Yeah.
And then two, there's this side quest that I needed to complete, and three. I know the Great Fairies hang out around the stables, so eventually I'm going to run into whatever side quest, and one of the side quests deals with that. So, unlocking the Great Fairies.
Yeah, I got to get back to that side quest, because I bumped into one of them, and like she was like, oh, I need to hear this instrument, or I'll never open up again, and I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, basically, you have to accept the newspaper side quest, and then go to, it starts off at one of the stables specifically, where it like ties back into that, and then like as you help a music troupe out, you can unlock all four of the Great Fairies, and then you can have access to them. But they're all like, so you have to start that side quest first. There's a lot in the game, so like, like I wouldn't be surprised if some people like miss that the first time. I just kind of stumbled because I started exploring the Hebrew region at one point. I kind of stumbled into that, and I was like, oh, and like I had to look it up just to make sure what was all going on. But yeah, I do enjoy this game. I'm probably gonna say, I mean, we're probably gonna. Here's the thing, folks. We're lazy assholes. We're definitely gonna milk this for as much as we can. There is going to be a second podcast where we just talk about all the story stuff once these two assholes at least finish the game.
Sorry.
Don't say you're sorry for milking as much content as we can out of one topic. That is not something
mean-
you need to apologize for.
No, I'm saying sorry for not beating the game yet.
Oh, I haven't beat the game.
None of us have.
I've just played 100 hours of the game,
Yeah.
and
Like, none of us have beaten it yet, so.
yeah. But I'm choosing. I mean, maybe I could go beat it. Like, I could just storm through the 3 remaining like temple areas and then just call it good. But I want to still explore. Like, I enjoy the world.
Yeah.
I want to see everything. I don't feel like I've seen everything. I want to keep seeing it, and that's what I like about the game. Is like I can really, really enjoy the world.
Al said, wonder how far in the future that'll be, and Pixel said 50 years.
That sounds about right.
No, we'll probably talk about it later this year.
We'll just
some
keep.
point.
We'll just keep like iterating. Eventually, we'll all get to one temple finished. And
There's going to be there's going to be a monthly Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom episode where we just talk about Tears of the Kingdom every month.
Milk.
Milk.
But yeah, did you have anything else to add?
Coliseums are fun. I don't know if you guys have run into a Coliseum yet. I've done 2 of them so far.
I think I
not yet.
saw one and then I was like, I'm scared. I don't trust myself with this, and I walked away.
All right. So here's Landon's pro gamer tip for Tears of the Kingdom. Puff shrooms. Jack, you saw the donkey video, right?
Which specific part?
Where he throws the mushroom and it makes the puff cloud.
Oh, yeah.
Puff shrooms and muddle buds. Get those, and you will have so much fun with enemy encounters. Because with muddle buds, I know I've said this probably in private with us, but this is more for just public for anyone listening. It will cause confusion on an enemy, and they will attack allies. So if you have a group of enemies, you just throw one of those, and it does a little. And anyone that gets hit with that radius will have confusion, and then they'll hit each other. The puff shroom, the enemies lose line of sight at you, and it makes a big smoke screen basically.
Yeah.
So what you can do then is you can run behind them and do a sneak attack. So those Colosseums you can make super easy because they usually only throw 1 to 3 enemies at a time. Until the last wave where they might throw 4. So there's one for bokoblins, there's one for moblins, there's others for there's one for Lionels. So you can kind of pick the fights off a little bit more by using those 2 items, I would say in particular, which you can farm a lot of in the depths. Or there is the guys you can trade the pose to. You can actually trade those and bomb flowers too. There's one at Lookout. Whatever, the main hub that you start off with.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's one of those guys where you can give him pose.
Lookout Landing, I think is the name of it.
Yeah. If you give him pose that you find in the depths, you can trade those in for those 3 items. So if you really want bomb flowers or those other 2 items I mentioned, those you can get from that. So, try exploring the depths. You don't actually need to be, super high-end with, equipment to, really go and explore down there.
Okay. I've been scared of, the idea of exploring it, but I should try it at some point.
Now you know, because I told you that you can make food that recovers bloom damage.
Yep.
And I told you that it's worth it for other items to go find stuff.
Yeah. And now I know.
Yeah. And knowing's half the battle. All right. Jack, what have you been doing recently?
Yeah, let's catch up on what we've been up to, because it's been a couple weeks, I think.
It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I tried the Tillamook seasonal ice creams.
Yes.
They're good. I like them.
I mean, there's a reason why we talk about Tillamook. One of these episodes is just going to be us trying different flavors of Tillamook.
Patron exclusive content. Taste testing Tillamook.
Taste testing Tillamook.
Yeah, the last few times that I've taken a break during the stream, I just go out to my kitchen table and like eat Tillamook ice cream out of the tub, and then come back.
He's living the perfect life.
Yeah.
But what else have you been up to, Jack?
Not much. And by that I mean a lot and not a lot at the same
I was gonna
time.
say, you continue to say you are the busiest man in the business.
I mean, he could also just be busy with stuff that isn't really for like sharing on a podcast.
Oh,
So.
you can share on a podcast.
It's not like I can't share it. I don't know.
You don't
I
have
go to a lot of shows. I go to a lot of shows and I hang out with people in real life.
That is not for talking.
And you've been maintaining your home that you own. So
I do own this home.
We need about 3 episodes on home maintenance.
I paid my mortgage a couple days ago.
Whoa.
So that was cool.
this guy being the cool adult.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. Also, I have a girlfriend now, but that's, that's it.
Cloud, what are your thoughts? You should write
What are your thoughts?
What have I been up to?
No, ask what your thoughts are.
Oh. My thoughts? I'm
Yeah.
happy for Jack, first of all.
Okay. What have you been
Jack is living a life that I wish I could partially live, but home prices out here are ridiculous because it's Massachusetts and property rates are really bad. So, but that said, I have been mostly up to the same old stuff. Like, I've been playing a lot of Xenoverse 2 with mods and stuff like that. Just been like trying out different like character like stuff, like been adding certain accessories and like outfits that they can wear. Been trying out different transformations that they can use. Been starting to dabble in like just general skills that don't exist in the game normally. Like, Landon, you remember that skill Burst Kamehameha that like Super Saiyan Blue Goku had?
Yes, the one
somebody
where
made like a
you can do a second
right, yeah.
beam up. Yeah.
There's so like I have like a male Saiyan that instead of I originally was gonna have him like do like a legendary Super Saiyan, like Super Saiyan 4 thing, but like I wasn't really feeling it based on like the transformation animations and stuff. But I found out that there's like there's a character in Super Dragon in Dragon Ball Heroes, I think, yeah, that it's basically based on like Goku Black, and he has like 3 different levels of Super Saiyan Rose, and that like got me motivated to like make a Saiyan that was based on that. And so it turns out that there's a skill that someone made, which is Burst Kamehameha, but it's pink, so it's Burst Kamehameha Rose. So I've like put that on him. So
That's cool.
yeah, I've just been like fiddling around with that. I've been playing The Legacy of Goku 2. I'll tell you this. How far did you get?
I beat Jiro, I think, twice.
Okay, I don't think I'm that far yet. I think, because I beat Jiro once, I don't think I chased him down for the second fight yet.
Okay.
But
yeah,
I've
think
also
I beat
been-
him twice.
I've also been grinding my characters up because like there's like level doors that you can go into, and I wanted to go into those doors a little early. So because
So
like there's
you
like
probably won't have as much issue because I was grinding Piccolo for a bit to try and beat him in the third fight, but like the AI in that game is poop garbage smelly.
I noticed that like for the androids, because of just how they don't take key attacks, like the only way I've been able to beat like in Dr. Jiro the first time was like Super Saiyan Vegeta. I hid
Guess
somewhere,
what?
transformed, and then just bolted over and just punched him a bunch.
I did not use Super Saiyan Vegeta for I used it for 19, but for
Yeah.
Jiro it was just Piccolo. So
Oh wow. Yeah, no.
maybe that's
when
my
I found
issue.
yeah, I was
is
gonna
I'm
say
not
when I
using
found out that
Vegeta.
yeah, the damage output and the speed that Super Saiyan moves at, it made mincemeat out of Jiro. Like they
Okay.
want you to use Super Saiyan. It's
Well,
sad, but that's
I wrote the game off anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm good.
But I've been enjoying it a lot more than Legacy of Goku 1. I told you guys about Legacy of Goku 1 in the previous episode. Never touching that game again. Ever.
Fair.
Have I done anything else recently? Been cleaning up the apartment a little bit because my girlfriend actually moved in. So we've been like trying.
That's cool.
I cleaned up my closet, like got rid of like a bunch of extra stuff that I've just been hoarding that I don't even need. Cleaned up quite a bit of stuff, so just kind of sorting stuff out now. I got new bulbs today. I did a lot of stuff today specifically, but just general like keeping up with my apartment and playing through a bunch of Dragon Ball games for our eventual upcoming Dragon Ball episode, and playing Tears of the Kingdom because we played quite a bit of that. Yeah.
I will say, to add to the question that was asked to me earlier, finished Mario Galaxy, and that Let's Play will be ending next week.
Nice. Yes, that's right.
I told these two about that already, but yeah, it's gonna be 30 parts. So yeah, and then after that, I will have more time to focus on streams and also other shit.
You might play some Tears of the King.
I might. I hope so.
Landon, what about you? What have you been up to?
I feel like I went to a water park today.
You feel like?
Oh yeah. Oh, did it pour rain?
No, I did some power washing.
Cool.
My grandmother's like house thing. She needed like concrete area, like power wash, and the hose for the power washer gun thing. The hose that was leading to that had a hole in it, and so we had like put electrical tape around it, and so it was still spraying water out of it, and especially when I needed to up the pressure to actually like get some of like the hard grime in there out, it was just water everywhere. Luckily, my grandmother had mentioned to bring flip-flops, and I was like, I don't own any, but I need to go to the store and buy command strips for her to put up pictures, because she had like some paintings she wanted to put up anyway. I was like, how much are flip-flops? $7? Alright, let's do it. And Jesus, my shoes would have been completely destroyed otherwise.
Cue the water country music.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, I feel like I'm at a water park today.
When the sun is blazing and the summer gets hot.
It was like, it's been like in the mid to high 80s, and it's going to be like 90 something 4th of July.
Dude, I've been so sick of the weather over here. It's either really hot out because of the sun. It's like 80s and stuff like you said. Or it's just pouring rain. It's like there's nothing else.
It's definitely been the rainy season
I
lately.
would take rain, and I would also take it back to 72 to 75, just because it's been too nice.
1 week since you looked
It has
at
also
me.
been about 1 week since I've looked at Jack in the eyes, and we share a connection. What else? I mean, like, game-wise, I played a little bit of Attack of the Sands since the last time we did this, and I think that's it. No. I played one level of Sonic Triple Trouble in the Sonic Origins collection.
Oh yeah, that's right. I still gotta download the upgrade for Origins Plus.
Yeah, so we did that. And the Sega it shouted at me scared me at first because it's super crunchy because it's for the Game Gear. And I had the volume up a little bit, and I was like, oh god. Oh, that's right, this game is like that. But I spent like 8 minutes playing the one level, but I was like really like exploring it. Even though I played Triple Trouble to like death, I was like, I really want to like explore the level just for fun. So yeah, I did that. Have I done anything else? No, not really. Now that we've done the Tears of the Kingdom review, part 1. Is what I'm going to call it. I'll probably play more Trails from Zero. Soon.
I'm probably going to get back to Dragon Ball Z Kakarot DLC because there's quite a bit of that I got to get to.
Yeah, but I really want to play Trails from Zero.
Oh yeah,
Legend of Heroes.
Bet you've been excited to play more of that.
Yes. Oh, one last thing. Kari and I watched Godzilla, the
2014
legendary.
movie.
Yeah, and she
good movie.
She did not leave the room.
It's a good thing.
Good. It'll be interesting to see how she reacts to Kong Skull Island next. Then we'll try to get through all the legendary movies. She does not she kept saying Godzilla looks like a case of hemorrhoids. I think she said it on one of the streams. Just it was freaking her out. I'm like, don't worry about it. But yeah.
Oh yeah, speaking of actually now that I forgot, there is one more thing that I've been up to, which isn't really just so much me as it's been my girlfriend, but I've been tuning in. So she started watching this there's 4 different series or something, but she's been watching a particular season of this anime called Uma Musume Pretty Derby, and it's this anime about horse girls, and they're doing horse races.
Gross.
So it's it's very weird. Apparently, so it was the first anime was way back in the late 2010s, but this one came out pretty recently. And then there's a mobile game. That mobile game is made by the same people that made Nintendo's Dragalia Lost. Yeah, that dead mobile game that Nintendo had, same people that made that. Cygames is the company. And then I guess there's this game that's coming out for the Nintendo Switch and PS4 and Steam, which is kind of it looks like a pixelated 2D beat 'em up style game with the characters. It looks kind of interesting. I couldn't make heads or tails of it though, but I don't know. She's been playing the mobile game that they have on Android and iOS. So I've been watching that anime with when I'm doing my own thing. I'll be playing Dragon Ball Z Universe 2, and I'll look over and I'll be looking at whatever she's watching, and it's kind of cute. It's weird. It's anime's gotten really weird over the last decade. They'll make an anime about anything.
I hate
really
that, and I hate you now. I think we're done.
Wow, that's mean.
Yep.
But we'll come back in a couple. Next week we have another episode planned because Landon is going to be busy coming this month. So we don't know when we're going to have these episodes up. We're going to try and have them up at our normal schedules, but we do have another episode that we're going to do live next Thursday. So, do we want to just say what it is now, or do we want to make it a surprise?
You can do whatever you want. All I know is I edit audio.
Okay, so next week, join us when we will be talking about the first of many different console generations in gaming, where we will discuss the PS3, Xbox 360, and Wii.
Console Wars.
Console Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not gonna talk about it.
No, we should tagline it Console Wars.
God.
Generation whatever.
Goodness. But yeah, we're gonna talk about those next week, so hope you guys are looking forward to that. As always, we have streams coming up. Besides that, we've got other content. Jack's got his Let's Play of Mario Galaxy wrapping up. We've got a Discord, all that other social media garbage. Follow us everywhere. We'll see you then. Other than that, you guys have a good night. Take care. We will see you guys next time. Good night. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Gaming Stooges Talks podcast. If you enjoyed us, consider subscribing to our podcast RSS feed, or follow us on youtube.com/GamingStooges and twitch.tv/GamingStooges for more gaming content. If you'd like to chat with us, join our Discord. The link can be found in the episode description. We also want to thank all of our Patreon supporters. Your continued support means a lot to us. Not already one? Please take a look at what we have to offer anyone who becomes a patron at patreon.com/GamingStooges. See you next time!